Welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another offseason rebuild, and today we have the Houston Rockets. The Rockets have had a pretty crazy offseason. They went ahead and signed Fred VanVleet to a 3-year, $130 million deal. They then went ahead and gave Dillon Brooks $80 million over 4 years. They went ahead and drafted Amen Thompson 4th overall. They got Cam Whitmore at number 20, and honestly, it's been a pretty solid offseason, minus a few of those moves. So for Houston here, obviously already one of the better young cores in the NBA. Our goal today is to take that young core, shape it within 5 years, hopefully get this team a championship. So no, this is not technically a prospect rebuild or a Fred VanVleet rebuild. We're just doing a Houston Rockets offseason rebuild. We decided to do 5 years today because there are so many young players on this team. I want to maximize on these players' potentials. I don't think 3 years is enough time for that. So we're going to go ahead and do 5 years with this group today. If there are other young teams you want me to do 5 years with, just let me know down below in the comment section. Of course, with any other video ideas you guys do have down below there. So obviously there's a lot we're waiting to unfold right now. We don't know what's going to happen with Damian Lillard. If I were a betting man, which I am, I would go ahead and say that he's probably going to end up in Miami. Most of the time, NBA stars do get what they want. He wants to play in Miami. I do not blame him. So all right, man, this is pretty much it for this one, though. This is obviously a young team. They brought in some pretty good veterans. I'll give you more of my thoughts once we do get in the video, but let's see if we can get this Rockets team a championship. All right, so let's dive into this Houston Rockets roster and kind of go over the good, the bad, and the ugly, because there is a little bit of everything with this team. And again, it is obviously a very young team, so that definitely does make a lot of sense. So first off, Fred VanVleet, 3 years. It says $118.5 million here because in this updated shared file, or rather 2K in general, this is the most it's going to let you give him. You can't give him the full 130. Honestly, it's not that big of a difference. I think it's an overpay. I'm not going to lie to you guys. My thoughts with Fred VanVleet. I do not have a problem whatsoever with a team like the Houston Rockets, who are obviously incredibly young, trying to bring in a guy like Fred VanVleet, who's been in the league for a minute. He's been on a championship-winning team in the Toronto Raptors, and really kind of getting a good leader, veteran presence, good vocal guy in the locker room. I have absolutely no problem with that. The problem comes in when you're giving him $130 million over 3 seasons. Now, if this was a 2-year deal, I would not have as big of a problem with it, but there are some good free agency classes coming up, and if Houston proves to be a competent, good, young team that has some promise and some potential, I think this could be a somewhat attractive destination for some pretty marquee free agents. And I do think this Fred VanVleet contract could potentially hinder some of those guys from coming here. Not because they don't like him, just because of the money aspect of it. So that was my problem with it. I really would have lost my shit if it was 4 years for like, God knows what, $180 million or however the fuck that math makes sense. But again, I don't love the money, but I understand why they brought him in. Overall, I'd give you like a C+ on this deal. That's what I'd do. Also a little bit confusing for the fact that Kevin Porter Jr. is here. Now, Kevin Porter Jr. obviously had some struggles, some problems throughout his young NBA career, but I still do like the potential quite a bit. Now, is he going to be in the starting lineup? Probably not. I think with the addition of Fred VanVleet, he'll obviously be the starting point guard. But another elephant in the room is, what are you doing with Amen Thompson, who you just took 4th overall, and I think has all the talent in the world? I mean, there are some draft classes where he's probably the number 2 overall pick. Now, again, I don't necessarily think it's always necessarily smart to start 5 guys who are under 23 years old. That's never the smartest thing to do, but his potential is quite high, and I stand by that statement. I really do think he has to get quite a bit of playing time if you want to maximize that potential. We will see. Dashy and Nick's here as well. I mean, kind of the odd man out in the group, if we're being quite honest. Jalen Green is here. He's a talented young shooting guard. We're hoping to maximize, again, on that potential. That's what we're going to continue talking about throughout this rebuild, is potential. That's what you do when you have a super young group like this. Again, number 2 overall pick a couple of years ago. And, yeah, we're just going to see if we can continue to develop him. Hopefully have him be my starting shooting guard the entirety of this video. Dillon Brooks. Mr. Dillon Brooks. I'm not going to lie. I did not think he was going to get $80 million. I really, really did not. I mean, Dillon Brooks is a guy who we all know likes to talk quite a bit. He runs his mouth, and yeah, I mean, it looked like the Memphis Grizzlies wanted absolutely no part of bringing him back, and honestly, I don't really blame him. I do not think that he's worth $80 million, but again, $20 million a year in today's NBA isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. It's a fresh start for him. We'll see how it goes. Jae'Sean Tate here at the backup small forward spot. He is 27 years old. We'll see how he fits because I definitely do want to get some playing time to this man right here, Mr. Cam Whitmore, 19 years old. Probably the guy who fell the furthest in the draft that nobody really expected. Fell all the way to number 20. Houston ended up picking him up there, and sucks to see. I know there were some injury concerns. I think I saw a report that maybe his old coach wasn't really necessarily talking very nice about him, but there were also some predictions, if you will, that he could go in the top 5, 6, 7, 8 of this draft. He fell all the way to 20, so I feel bad for him. I hope it fuels him because I do think he has a bright NBA future ahead. We will see what ends up happening there. Power forward spot, Jabari Smith Jr. was the 3rd overall pick last year's draft. Again, we're just going to see if we can maximize that potential. We're going to keep hammering it. Terry Eason is here, only 22 years old. Darius Day is here as well. Center spot, I'm a huge Alperen Sengun fan. We're going to see again. Hopefully can be our starting center the entire time. I think he can. We should not have any problem. We will see. Jock Londell here as well. They signed him from the Phoenix Suns in free agency. So we are here still in free agency. Technically, this shared file is not 100% updated, but it is pretty good. And in terms of some other guys we could sign, I don't really know. I think there's a trade out there. I might throw KPJ into a trade, or maybe I move him to the backup shooting guard spot, really just kind of increase the depth on this bench. I mean, what happens if you move him to the 2? Not really much changes. So, he's going to go ahead. He's going to be the backup behind Jalen Green. I don't know how much he'd love that, but honestly, what are they going to do with him in real life as well? Because, I mean, there's a lot of guards on this team now. So, at this point in time, I might move Jayshawn Tate, and I only say that because I really want to get Cam Whitmore minutes. I'm assuming Dylan Brooks is probably going to start for me here today. Other than that, I don't really have a problem with anything on this team. I don't really think there's any other major moves that are going to be made, especially in the offseason. Frank Kaminsky, Boban, probably not coming back here in 2K. So we're going to go ahead, probably try to find our best in at least getting a first-round pick for Jayshawn Tate. Again, he's also 27 years old. Doesn't necessarily fit the timeline of this team super well, but it's not like 27 is a crazy age, but, with a 5-year rebuild. Malik Monk, wow. I feel like that's too easy to get Malik Monk, but I don't really need Malik Monk, unfortunately. Just give me a draft pick, please, for the love of God. Oh, man. It's like become increasingly challenging to find draft picks, and I don't really know why that is. All right, I'll be back. So I was unable to find a good, solid trade for Jayshawn Tate. I didn't necessarily have to move him. The only reason I was going to is because I want to go ahead, get Cam Whitmore some playing time, so that's fine. We decided to keep him. He still has a year of team control, and he will be my backup small forward. I'm going to send Cam Whitmore to the G League for a year. He'll get some development down there. It'll be high and mighty. But we are here at the start of year number 1 right now, and this is how the team is looking. I also went ahead and realized that we actually do not have our own first-round pick this year unless it is in the top 4. Oklahoma City has the rights to it. I have no idea what trade that dates back to. I'm assuming it's probably not all the way back to like a Chris Paul trade, but I really cannot remember. But nonetheless, we are here. We have no reason to really suck, so we're going to try to go out, win as many games as possible. It's going to be Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Sengun. Bench unit is going to be KPJ, Amen Thompson, Terry Eason, Jayshawn Tate, and Jock Londell here as well. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send Cam Whitmore down to the G League for a year. Again, I think it's just going to be some good development. Maybe we put Jayshawn Tate in a bigger trade at some point in time in the offseason. But this is a good team. Again, we're probably not like top 4, top 5, nothing like that. But I think we'll be fighting for a play-in spot. And I don't know, maybe we can go on a little bit of a Cinderella run. Crazier things have happened. So I like this group a lot, man. I think the next few years are going to be really fun. I'll see you guys at the end of year 1. We ended year 1 with a measly record of 33-49. That is obviously not great, and I don't think it was quite bad enough to be in the top 4. So in all likelihood, we're not going to have our draft pick. A little bit unfortunate, but you know what? It is what it is at this point. Ja Morant is your MVP. Victor Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year. Chris Paul, 6th Man of the Year. Oh my God. Anthony Davis, Defensive Player of the Year. Evan Mobley, Most Improved. Quinn Snyder, Coach of the Year. Surprise. The Atlanta Hawks are very good. Here's a look at the full standings right now. We finished 33-49, as I mentioned. And yeah, man, unless we get super lucky in this lottery, we are not going to be having a top 4 pick, which I guess is good and it's bad, because if it's anywhere like 11, 12, 13, that I would not be too upset about, but if it ends up being like number 5 or number 6, that could tick me off a little bit. It looks like the scoring was relatively spread out, and honestly, that's not really too shocking. I mean, Jalen Green at 22 years old, albeit he is an 88 overall, being our leading scorer. I'd like to see him up maybe around like 22, 23, 24 points a game, but we did add some decent players to this team, so we will see. But again, I think we have a really good foundation for this team right now, and I think it's definitely something we can build upon. So it is time for the offseason. We're going to sim through the playoffs real quick, see what ends up happening here in the 2024 NBA playoffs. It is going to be a Pelicans and a Celtics finals. Interesting. And the Pelicans go on to sweep the Celtics. Look at Zion Williamson when you play without injuries on. Good things happen. All right, it is time for offseason number 2 before we do head into year number 2. And again, a lot of talent on this team, a lot of flexibility. And I think there's a big move coming. I don't know what it's going to be, but we're going to figure it out. Let's take a look at the draft lottery right now. We are actually projected. Oh, that's the Brooklyn pick. We actually do have that pick. And yeah, Oklahoma City's projected our pick at number 7. So let's sip through, see what ends up happening. Our pick fell to 7. So if it was in the top 4, we would have had it, but we do have the Brooklyn Nets pick at number 8, so it's not the end of the world. It would have been great to obviously have our pick as well, but then we would have to give up our pick next year, but whatever, it is what it is. Jacob Underwood is and was our head coach this past season. Obviously, Ime Udoka is the head coach of this Rockets team right now, so why the hell is Doc Rivers here? I don't know. I don't think Ime is in the game. I don't believe he is anymore. He obviously used to be once upon a time. I did not see him when I was looking for him before. And obviously, you know, if he wasn't the head coach or listed and whoever made the shared file didn't put him as the head coach, I'm assuming they probably couldn't find him as well. So it doesn't appear he's in here. Jacob Underwood can remain our head coach. I'm sure it's good enough. It doesn't matter. All right, so up to the draft. 8th overall selection is obviously good. We have some flexibility there. We also have 5, 6, 18, and 21 in round 2. So there could be a trade coming. I'm a little TBD on what we're going to do, but there's definitely a move on the horizon, if you will. The Oklahoma City Thunder own the number 1 overall selection, and I have a player I want to draft at that spot. I do not have any interest in Fred VanVleet's contract. I want Amen Thompson to go ahead and get the starting nod. I think it makes the most sense for me here, and yeah, this isn't a realistic rebuild. So this is Fred VanVleet in number 8, and we're going to try to get number 1. Take the goddamn deal. Okay, I have about 85 second-round picks this year. You are more than welcome to have all of them. Oh, come on. All right, any other players I'd throw in this deal? If you honestly want Jock Lawndale, you can't afford him. I was going to say you can have him just because, again, I don't think he's as good in this game as he is in real life. I'd rather keep Cam Whitmore. I think he could potentially be pretty valuable for me at some point in time. How about if I give you my 2027 first? I don't want to do that. All right, funny enough, they actually own the number 2 overall pick as well. I mean, just, Jesus Christ. So will you take this? They do. Hopefully, my guy does not go first, thank God. Okay, I want Matas Buzelis. I'm going to go ahead and take him. I don't know if it's the right pick or not, but he's 6'10". We're going to go ahead. He's going to be our new starting small forward. I don't really have much interest in Dylan Brooks starting for me for any longer, honestly. So Matas Buzelis is going to come in at a 70. Oh, shit. I almost just didn't sign him. Holy fuck. Okay, we're going to sign him. Got to make sure we do that. And, yeah, going to move him to the small forward spot. We're actually going up to a 79 overall. And, again, really one of the benefits of these 5-year... Jesus, this dude has no drip. One of the 5-year rebuilds because, again, we can kind of maximize on the extra 2 years that we have and really see these players develop even further than they would in a 3-year rebuild. So he will be our new starting small forward, which means we have a very, very young starting 5. Honestly, that's fine by me, though. So team player options. Green, 100% coming back. Şengün, yes. Jabari Smith Jr., without a doubt. Terry Easton I will bring back. And honestly, I'll bring back Tate and I'll bring back Knicks as well because, again, in a non-realistic rebuild, why the hell wouldn't I? Darius Day is probably not going to get that qualifying offer for me for just over $2 million. We enter free agency, and he is our only free agent we have any sort of bird rights on. So in terms of money, we have like $18.5 million to play with. Again, I mean, there's maybe some flexibility if we were to move Dylan Brooks. But honestly, would I rather just have Dylan Brooks come off the bench for me and then have like Cam... I want Cam Whitmore to play. I really do. But there are 2 potential backup options that are both better than him. But they are both 28 years old. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we upgrade our backup center spot and we keep Dylan Brooks. Because I don't necessarily think it's the worst thing in the world to keep him. Because I really do think he can be a solid bench piece for me. But just the potential of Cam Whitmore is really getting me excited. Oh, man. We also do need to find ourselves a new backup point guard. That is also something that definitely needs to happen. So maybe what I do is I'm definitely trading Jae'Sean Tate. That's 100% happening right now. If I were to trade Jae'Sean Tate, if I were to do this, Jae'Sean Tate and begrudgingly maybe Cam Whitmore, what are my options for either centers or point guards? Russell Westbrook at 35 years old. The interest is pretty low there. Scary Terry and a first-round pick. He is 30 years old. He's an expiring contract, but I don't necessarily think it would be a terrible pickup. That's something that definitely entices me a bit. If I'm looking at my... Oh, CJ McCollum, but he's 32, but we do get a first-round pick as well. I don't know, man. I'm TBD right now on what I really, really want to do, so I'll be back. We're going to try to make this trade with the Milwaukee Bucks, sending them Jae'Sean Tate and Jock Lawndale for Bobby Portis Jr. He would obviously be an incredible addition to this team. he would be the backup behind Alperen Şengün, and I think it would be an overall pretty smart move for this group that we do have here. So I do have some other players. Like if you want Dashi and Nix, you're more than welcome to take him. He's the same value as most first-round draft picks. And then how about you just take a bunch of seconds from me and we call it even? Come on, don't make me give up a first. Don't do it. Son of a bitch. All right, if I'm going to go ahead and give up a first, I'd rather do it in like 2028. I mean, honestly, it's not the end of the world. But we get a really good player here in Bobby Portis. He's going to be the new backup. Good veteran on this team as well. So I'm still pretty TBD on what I want to do between Dylan Brooks and Cam Whitmore. I mean, the potential here on Cam Whitmore is quite high, and I really do think we can maximize that potential. Oh, man, I'm so torn. I really am, and especially just because he has team control that's so cheap, and Dylan Brooks is just really not cheap. God damn it. I mean, I'm just looking. If I see a point guard here, like Derek White would be great. He's more of a 2 than he is a 1, but he can play the 1. I'm not doing Russell Westbrook. He's 35 years old. I'm not giving up another first. Oh, man. Aaron Gordon's here. I like Aaron Gordon quite a bit, but I just don't need him. CJ, I don't want to swap first, though. Trey Jones. Would I do that? I could also just get Freddie back, but I'm not giving up a first. You know what? Let's do this. We're going to pick up Trey Jones here from the San Antonio Spurs. We get $10 million cheaper a year. We get 4 years younger, and we do finalize our backup point guard. So we're making that trade. We're going with the young guy with potential. We have the years. Why the hell not do it? So we're excited about the move, or at least I am. We have our 10-man rotation. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2. It is year 2 for us here in Houston after a pretty miserable 33-win season. We've reshaped and retooled this roster, and we might not necessarily be better in terms of the players we acquired and the players we traded, but we are feeling really, really good, and that's because this is a super young and super promising lineup. Amen Thompson finally going to get the nod as our starting point guard, giving him 31 minutes a night. It's actually suggested that we don't start him and he comes off the bench. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to play Trey Jones over him, so Thompson's getting the nod. Jalen Green's up to a 91 overall. He's going to be asking for quite a bit of money this offseason, and honestly, if he plays well, I'm probably going to give it to him. Let's be honest, I'm going to give it to him anyways. Matas Buzelis here in his rookie season. Hopefully he can fit nicely with this group. Jabari Smith Jr. and Alperen Şengün continue to be progressing. We love to see it. Kevin Porter Jr. will continue to be our shooting guard off the bench. I also am now realizing that I could have just traded for a backup shooting guard and moved KPJ back to the 1, but that's no fun. Bobby Portis Jr. here is our backup center. I say it every time I get him, but I love the goggles or the glasses that he has on in this 2K generated picture. Terry Eason's still going strong. Trey Jones. Then Cam Whitmore is actually up to a 77 overall. So he's 3 overalls less than Dylan Brooks. So we sacrificed that. But in terms of the money difference, it's night and day. I mean, it's just, I'd way rather sacrifice 3 overalls with a ton more potential and a ton less money. It makes so much more sense to me. So this is the team, man. I like it a lot. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. After a miserable 33-win first season, we have a great turnaround. We go 52-30 here in just our second season, and things are trending in an upward direction. 2K needs to hop off Darius Garland's dick because there's no chance in hell he ever wins an MVP, and he's not going to be playing like this. If he does, I will eat my words, and I will apologize, but I just do not see that much potential. I think he's a very good young player, but MVP, you're out of your fucking mind. Is his name Matt Buzelis here? I thought it was Matas. I'm going to fact check that, maybe change his name, because I could have sworn it was Matas. Did I? I don't know. He wins Rookie of the Year, though. It's great to see. Alzer Thompson or Zer Thompson, 6th man of the year. Anthony Davis is your depoy. Jay Sean Tate, most improved. That always happens when you trade away kind of a guy you had as a role player or a bench piece. Always ends up winning most improved. JB Bickerstaff's your coach of the year. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to take a look at the standings. We are actually the 2 seed here in the Western Conference, which is great. We go from a borderline borderline play-in team to a team that's going to be facing a play-in team in round 1. What a turnaround on top of the world right now. Again, we don't have the experience necessarily of a team that could go far into the playoffs, but we have 3 more years after this. We're going to build up that potential. So who we got in round 1? Who's it going to be for us? 7-seeded Portland Trailblazers. Damian Lillard still going strong here. Anthony Simon, Shaden Sharp, Isaiah Stewart, Nurkic. Scoot Henderson just on the bench. I feel bad for him, man. Jeremy Grant, oh my God, $150 million a year. No, not a year. Total. Crazy contract. Crazy contract. I feel bad, man. Because honestly, I think Portland did that and gave him that deal. Oh shit, that sucks. Because they were hoping that it would make Dame want to stay. I understand why you did it, but that is a lot of money to commit to, Jeremy Grant. We end up losing to a playing team in round 1. It sucks, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, to be fair, I don't think this team should have been a 2 seed with, the way it was constructed in the experience we have, but that's not really an excuse. We still should have gotten a little bit further as a 2 seed. But all right, let's head into the draft lottery right now. I don't know if we've traded for any picks. Obviously, our pick's not a lottery pick, and oh my god, that Brooklyn pick, that stems back to the James Harden trade. I know it's unprotected, and it's projected to be number 4, and it is at number 7. Sweet. Good job, 2K. I swear to God, teams move around in the lottery more in this game than they do in real life. It's absolutely mind-boggling. I'm still very happy with Jacob Underwood. He did coach us up to 52 wins, albeit a pretty short playoff run, but it is what it is. All right, so 7th overall pick. We also have 8 in round number 2. If I'm drafting anybody on this team, I mean, Trey Jones is expired. Cam Whitmore just has a team option. I mean, I don't really know what I would be drafting for right now, to be completely honest with you. I want to go ahead and I want to continue to let this group build and develop. I mean, maybe backup center if Bobby Portis asks for too much money. He's also a little bit old. I don't know. I mean, who's here? Who's available? Let's first check that. Flory Badunga is here. VJ Miller is also here. Potential replacement for Kevin Porter Jr.? I mean, is that an option? He's the 4th rated prospect. You know what? Here's my thing, because when you have a pick this high, maybe not necessarily this high, but when you have a pick, especially in the top 5, if you are bad enough that you have that high of a draft pick, I think you have to draft for best talent available. I don't think you go ahead and you draft the best fit. I think it is a little bit different, though, if the pick is not from your team. So, like, this example, we have the Brooklyn Nets pick, which really isn't our own draft pick, so we're a good team. We could probably draft for better fit here than it is for better player. But I'm still leaning VJ Miller, and he's going to be the guy I take. That was just kind of my little TED Talk I did right there. A little bit of an experience, if you will. What I truly do believe that most teams should end up doing. So we make that trade. We get rid of our 2nd round pick. We go ahead and we draft VJ Miller, who's a 77 overall. Honestly, could get some playing time. So we're going to bring back everybody here. Bobby Portis Jr. declines. We'll see what ends up happening there, but everybody else, welcome back. Jalen Green, Alperen Şengün. Both guys we have to make sure we re-sign here in free agency. Not taking any risks. We have money if we wanted to go after Giannis or Tatum even, but I just don't know if either of these guys would sign. I mean, Donovan Mitchell's here as well, but I do have Jalen Green. Could I make it work? Probably, but I mean, do we have any other free agents besides those two? So Green and Şengün, and then it's just Trey Jones and Bobby Portis. I kind of like building within the core, but I don't know if we have that superstar on our team that could really get us to a championship. Last time I did a Rockets rebuild, I got Giannis. I'm not going to get Giannis today. I'm going to make a play and try to sign Jason Tatum. I do not know if he's going to have any interest, but I'm going to make him the offer. I'm going to do the same thing here with Donovan Mitchell. I do not know if he's going to have interest, but I'm going to make him the offer. It's not very often I can get Tatum or Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to try. Şengün has 6 offers. None of them are real contracts. I'm not worried about it. Do we get either of those stars in free agency? Holy shit, we got Donovan Mitchell. All right, so now I'm in a bit of a pickle, if you will. Because obviously we have a very comfortable starting 5. We have a bunch of talent, and we can figure it out. But I now have to shed a lot of salary, because if I let these two go, I only have $5 million, and the cap hold here on Jalen Green is about $25 million. So roughly $19 million has to be shed if I want to keep Jalen Green. So before we do that, let's take a look at this roster and see kind of who we could shed to get rid of $19 million. Obviously, Kevin Porter Jr. is going to be out. And I think, to be honest, maybe either Terry Eason or Cam Whitmore would have to go as well. So first and foremost, let's move Kevin Porter Jr. I just need to clear up this contract, clear money, and we should basically have a super team at this point. Who is that? Austin Reeves. Why is it so much harder these days to trade for like draft picks and just kind of salary dump? I don't know why it is. It's like 2K did an update all of a sudden. I don't know who Ben Shepherd is, but there's no way we're going to be paying him when we have the option to get Donovan Mitchell. Thank you very much, Utah. And then who would I rather keep? Basically, Cam Whitmore or VJ Miller. Honestly, I think it's probably smarter to keep VJ Miller just because Cam Whitmore is not really needed anymore. If we're going to sign Donovan Mitchell, we're probably going to have to play Jalen Green at the 3, which means Buzelis will likely be his backup, and then Whitmore's not really needed. So we're going to trade him. Hopefully it's enough money. Hopefully it clears it up. Actually, I just want to fact check that. He's making 3.32. If I renounce here, yeah, that clears it up. All right, so we're going to finalize this trade. Again, I know that this is taking forever, but we're going to have a really, really good team. Just hang with me for a little while. Just give me a draft pick. It seriously, it does not matter who it is. Oh, my God. Why is this, like, why did this become so hard all of a sudden? All right. Riley Kugel. I mean, good Lord. It's just like a chore at this point. Thank you very much, Chicago. All right, so now we are not going to renounce Jalen Green. Now, let me renounce Frank Ntilikina and Frank Jackson. Bobby Portis Jr. is gone. Trey Jones is gone, but we do not have to renounce Jalen Green. We get Donovan Mitchell, so I basically have to wait till day 3 of free agency right now to ensure that Jalen Green and Alperen Şengün, okay, holy shit, that scared the hell out of me, can come back to this team. So let me just make sure neither of them have any real offers. That's not a real contract that he'll accept. That's not a real contract that he'll accept. So we're good. Wait, no fucking shot. Oh, you just fucked me, Alperen. He had 88 interest. Why is he signing that? Oh. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Fucking A, dude. I have to, because I can't. I literally just fucked myself. He had 88 interest. I do not know why he did that. All right, give me a minute. We're going to find out a way to do this. We're sending Terry Eason to San Antonio, saving us another $5.6 million in salary. I don't think we're quite there. I still think if we're going to make this happen, which let me just double check. We don't sign him. I think, shit. So we're $2 million off, it looks like. All right, so I have to click, because he's only signing for 2 for 43, which is also kind of crazy. I feel like he probably could have gotten more. So I have to clear up now like another like $3 million. So basically I'm moving VJ Miller. Which sucks because I do not want to... Whoa. Okay, never mind. It has Thompson in it. I don't want to do this, but like I have absolutely no interest in trading guys that like have a lot of potential and a lot of value, but I would be absolutely idiotic to like choose them all over Donovan Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? So like it's just stupid. It's a lot of legwork. It's also going to screw up the depth that we had on this team, but honestly, I think it's worth it because we're going to have a really, really good team. So we can now sign Alperen Şengün. He can come in here. We still get Donovan Mitchell. We now 100% have to make sure that Jalen Green does not get a contract, or we are absolutely fucked. But, yeah, so we're signing both of those guys. Jalen Green now has 6 offers. That is something he's probably going to accept. So I'm going to max him out. Hopefully he signs with us. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're not going to sign Green. We're not going to renounce his rights. We still have 16 million. Wait, what? We have 16 million. Oh, I might have done my math wrong. I might have traded a bunch of guys that didn't have to, but we should be good. We get both of them. I'm now going to bring back Jalen Green. Oh, wow. We actually have a lot more money than I thought we were going to. Well, I'm an idiot, but whatever. We're just going to bring back Jalen Green. And, okay, he's going to the Clippers. No, you're not. You're coming back here. All right, so that was a lot of hoops to jump through. And, again, I know that took way too long, and my apologies for it. But, honestly, in order to make this team, like, really, really good, I think it was worth it. I really do. Because we have an insane starting 5 at this point. So we do need to find ourselves a new backup shooting guard and point guard. We're good with the backup 3. We need to find a new backup 4 and a new backup 5. Wow, I really stepped into it, really. I really did. So our bench is going to suck, but our starting 5, we basically gave up like our entire bench for Donovan Mitchell, which I don't think is really that crazy. I think a lot of teams would probably do that. Gabe Vincent actually regresses a little bit, but I still think he's a good player. I'm going to bring him in as our backup point guard. And then, yeah, we're going to get a little tricky with some of these backups we can sign, but we have a lot of draft picks, which is also very, very interesting. So let me figure this out. We're just going to sign a bunch of random players at this point, and we'll go from there. We signed Otto Porter Jr. We're sending him a first-round pick and a second-round pick to San Antonio for Charles Bassey. We're upgrading our backup center spot. That is trade 1. We definitely have a lot more to go. Maybe not the best move in the world because I know he's going to regress, but Bogdan Bogdanovic is an upgrade over Edmund Sumner, so we're going to go ahead and make this deal right here, solidifying our new backup shooting guard option. And at this point in time, I really only need to find a backup power forward, and we'll be all set. So along with the deals we made, obviously, clearing up all that money to kind of create this star-studded team that we have, we were also able to acquire just a ton of really valuable draft picks. So I need to find myself a backup power forward. I'm not seeing it here. I mean, in terms of, like, if I were to go, it's not going to be a long list. It's in all likelihood just going to be a lot of free agents that are making, like, $2 million or less. But if there's anybody here that has, like, any sort of value, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it. So the first player I see that is not a free agent. This is going... Oh, he's on our team. Sweet. Chris Murray. I'd 100% try to find a way to do this. Nope. No interest there. I have like 85 draft picks if you want any of these. Oh, what did that say? Oh, good God. All right, take another first from the Warriors. I mean, we have the assets to get this to go through. I'm not really worried about it, but we jumped through a lot of hoops, man, and we do have a really good team, but I am kind of sad about the depth we gave up, but this should be a championship caliber team. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 3. It's year 3 out of 5 for us here in Houston. Here's how the team is looking. Amen Thompson's obviously going to be our starting point guard. I am a little bit worried, a little bit concerned that his overall is not going up a ton. He's still an 81. Little strange, but that is 2K at the end of the day. Obviously, we went ahead and jumped through about 85 different hoops to make Donovan Mitchell a Houston Rocket. I think it's well worth it. I mean, when you look at the landscape of the NBA, if you were to tell me that, like, as like a team, if you had to give up like your guys like number 6 through like number 10 on your bench, not even 6, it's 7 through 10 on your bench, I think like most teams would probably do that in order to get Donovan Mitchell. That is essentially what we did. So I know it seemed like a lot, but it really, really wasn't in kind of the big picture. So I'm excited to have Donovan Mitchell here. He's obviously an incredible player. Jalen Green's going to now be our starting 3. Jabari Smith Jr. obviously still here. Alperen Sengun, who honestly royally fucked me, but he's here. We gave him some money. Matas Buzelis, we were fortunately able to keep. I went ahead and double-checked. Yeah, I don't know why it was Matt Buzelis. It's Matas, and yeah, he's our backup small forward. He's going to be our 6th man playing 22 minutes a night. Chris Murray was a very welcomed addition as well, up to an 80 overall. Pretty much the only guy that we were able to trade for that's actually progressing instead of regressing. Charles Bassey, 77 overall. Bogdan Bogdanovic, and Gabe Vincent. So we're eventually going to fix 8 through 10 in terms of this bench, but other than that, it is a very top-heavy team. Whole lot of talent here. I expect to be very much in the mix for the best team in the league. I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. 64-18 is our record here at the end of our 3rd regular season. It looks like the risk we made paid off. And I say kind of risk in air quotes, because albeit we did make a lot of trades, we dumped a lot of good players. We got a really, really good player in Donovan Mitchell in return. Luka Doncic is your MVP. It is a nearly 28-point triple-double. Not quite all the way there, but nonetheless, very impressive. Ian Jackson's your Rookie of the Year. He ends up in Los Angeles. Damian Lillard has now moved to the bench in this hypothetical scenario. 3 years down the line, he is still not running from the grind. Still going strong in Portland. Anthony Davis wins another DPOY. Cam Whitmore, most improved. Would have been nice to still have him on this squad, but he was never going to get, this kind of playing time on this team. Jacob Underwood wins Coach of the Year for us at 64-18. And yeah, man, we are hoping for a long, prosperous, and very, very successful playoff run. Here's a look at the numbers on the year. Who did what? Donovan Mitchell, Jabari Smith Jr. Quite the leap. Oh, maybe it wasn't. I don't know why. Okay. I don't know why I had it in my mind he was around like 14, 15 points last year, but I'll take that. Still very, very solid. Yeah, man. I mean, everything's looking really good on this team. Again, we are somewhat top-heavy. I mean, most teams are with the way they're built, but I think this team honestly has a lot of talent. Here's a look at the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, Luka and Kyrie just make an incredible backcourt together, and Luka just did win an MVP, but I think we're just all a little bit too good, if you will. Moving on to the Sacramento Kings, you got Chris versus Keegan Murray here. Wow, De'Aaron Fox is no longer here. Interesting. I'm not sure how you're quite this far without him, but thanks for coming. In Oklahoma City here in the Western Conference Finals, Tobias Harris in a starting lineup with all this talent. Oh my God, I forgot we traded Freddie VanVleet there. All right, well, let's see what ends up happening here in the Western Conference Finals. We're up 3-0. They win a game. They win another game. Okay, we're in the finals. Amen Thompson is your Finals MVP in the Western Conference. Western Conference Finals MVP. Average a double-double. And De'Aaron Fox is a New York Knick, and he is going to be taking us on in the finals. I guess ask and you shall receive, if you will. But this is an interesting New York Knicks team. I really do think we are better, so I'm going to go ahead and just assume it's not going to be too challenging of a series. And who knows if we're going to be back here. I'd like to think we will be, but you never know. So I'm going to get some gameplay with this team. Again, I know this video's already been long enough, and we still have 2 more seasons to go, so I'll try to make it quick, but I do want to get some gameplay. We are up 6 right now, so hopefully I can hold that lead. Trying to close out the New York Knicks here in Madison Square Garden. Obviously never an easy thing to do. And, yeah, we're going to go ahead and try to win a champion. Oh, fuck, I bricked that, didn't I? Oh, no, wow, it went in. We're going to try to win a championship here in year 3. Obviously, with 2 seasons still to go, we're hoping to win 2 more after this. And I think we have the talent to do so. So, I mean, our big gamble, if you will, appears that it is going to be paying off. And, yeah, I guess at this point in time, we can just chat about the New York Knicks. We can chat about the Houston Rockets. Oh, my God, what am I doing? Houston Rockets a little bit in some of their moves. I know they had like a big 3 in terms of like a wish list for free agents this offseason. They got 2 out of 3 with Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks. They unfortunately did not get Brook Lopez. And I understand what they're trying to do with bringing in veterans on a really young team. I mean, I know I already touched on this a little bit, but I really do think, especially with Ime Udoka, who's a great, great coach. I mean, I really wish he was still the Celtics head coach. He did a tremendous job coaching that group to the finals a couple seasons ago. And I don't necessarily think throwing big dollars at free agents that aren't necessarily worth that kind of money is the smartest thing in the world to do. I know they also had interest in James Harden at one point. I don't think that made a ton of sense. I think, honestly, they're on the right track, though. They're definitely in the right direction. And there is an argument they are the best young team in the NBA. I don't know if they're quite there with, like, I'll probably still take the Pistons over them. I'm probably still taking the Oklahoma City Thunder over them. But other than that, I'm probably going to put them at, like, number 3, maybe even number 2. I really think they are. I mean, they've done just an absolutely incredible job drafting their players, pretty solid job developing them, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for them. But here in this scenario, we obviously went ahead and kind of blew up a lot of that young core. I mean, there's still some pieces here. I don't want to say blew up. There's still some pieces here, but we went ahead and made a big move, acquired Donovan Mitchell, and speaking of Donovan Mitchell, let's go ahead and see what we can do with him here. He's 33-4-4 on the night. I mean, looks like a smart move in the end of the day. I would say so. Mitchell down to Şengün. Şengün up. Gets a little okay. Seriously, we're bricking that? Come on, Alperen. We're up 10, though. We're going to do a couple more possessions here. Maybe just one more, honestly. Again, I know these videos, especially 5 seasons, are very, very long. Some people really enjoy the 5-season rebuild. Some people really don't. I understand because they are really long, and a lot of people just want to see the end product. It's like instant satisfaction these days is like really big. That's why short-form videos are so popular. But some people really enjoy seeing kind of the long process, if you will. So let me know what you guys kind of prefer down below in the comment section. I think some people prefer like a little bit of, oh my God, what a fucking save. Some people prefer a little bit of both, and I fully do understand that. I don't have a problem doing 5-season rebuilds. It's honestly, for me, just finding kind of the time, but that's going to be a foul from Donovan Klingen, I think is his name, but I'll see you guys with the finals MVP. I don't want to sit through the final ceremony. It takes way too long. We end up finalizing our sweep of the New York Knicks and win our first championship in year 3. Amen Thompson won a Western Conference Finals MVP, then ups that even another level, winning Finals MVP. Not a terrible series. I mean, he shot 10% from 3, which isn't necessarily great, but is what it is. All right, it is draft lottery time. Also, I know three-point shooting is not as strong suit. I know. That Chicago Bulls pick is projected to be number 2. I have no idea what protections are on it. That would be none, considering it is at number 4, and it is still our draft pick. Beautiful. Jacob Underwood. Oh, I thought he was not here anymore. I'd like to keep him as our head coach. Obviously, another high draft pick is incredible at this point in time. Last year, it wasn't necessarily needed, but now, oh my God, we have 10 as well. We also have 25. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep number 4. I'm going to try to package the rest of these draft picks, though. Maybe try to move up to like number 6 or something like that, because I think 2 other pieces that could replace some bench pieces that we have would be great. Maybe we get 2 new backup guards. I think that sounds like an absolute home run. Let's see if we can make that happen. The Detroit Pistons own the 6th overall selection. This is every other pick besides number 4 that we have this year, and let's see if they're in the mood to do this. They are not. How about if I just give you another future second? Any interest? They take it. All right, so at this point in time, we are trying to find 2 backup guards, potentially a backup big man, whatever it may be. I do not know this draft class at all. Koa Pete, Tyrone Stokes, and AJ, I cannot pronounce that last name, but that's 3 small forwards. No guards have been taken so far. Cooper Flagg is here. I know he's like super high rated. Cameron Boozer's also here. I believe this is Carlos Boozer's son. I think it makes sense for me right now to go ahead and take him. 81 overall, or at least that's what our scouting department says, but we need a backup center anyways. Bryce James is also here, funny enough. But yeah, man, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take Cameron Boozer, and then we are going to wait one more pick before we make our next selection. Cooper Flagg did go. Boozer's actually 79 overall, but we're going to go ahead. Marcus Johnson, I know absolutely nothing about him, but I know we need a backup point guard. He's going to be my guy. Welcome to the team. All right, so that was a hugely successful draft for me. 79 and a 78 overall. Obviously, that is great. Matas Buzelis, Amen Thompson, Chris Murray all going to be coming back. And at this point in time, the only thing besides an extension for Jabari Smith Jr. that I really need to do, find myself a new backup shooting guard. So we're going to go ahead. I'm not going to qualify him. I'm going to give him a real offer, and then we're going to sign a new backup shooting guard. DeAnthony Melton is probably going to be my guy. I'm feeling good, man. I really am. We go ahead and finalize our signing here of DeAnthony Melton. We're going to, I can't fucking speak. Renounce the rights here on Charles Bassey. Lewis King, I didn't even know was on this team. Bogies, obviously, it's come to an end here. And, yeah, then we're going to go ahead and extend Jabari Smith Jr. before year 4. But, man, oh, man, I'm feeling great right now. I mean, I'm very happy with the way everything's going with this team. I mean, It's pretty much gone the exact way I was kind of hoping it would when we went ahead, made all those moves. So honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and trade Gabe Vincent for a draft pick. I knew when I signed him, he was going to regress. It's a little weird because he's like not that old, but yeah, he can go back to Miami. I'm sure they would love to have him back there. So yeah, man, this is it. That's the only changes we're making for year 4, but things are going really, really good for this team. We'll see you guys at the rotation. Fresh off a championship, it is our 4th out of 5 seasons here in Houston. Things are going really, really well for us. We had 2 top 6 picks now on this team. Ton of potential in both those players. Starting lineup still absolutely looking incredible. Here's how it's going to be. It's Amen Thompson, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Şengün. Bench unit, Matas Buzelis, Chris Murray, Cameron Boozer, Marcus Johnson, DeAnthony Melton. So I like the team a lot, man. We improved 8 through 10, exactly like we were hoping to do. And this is awesome, man. I'll see you guys at the end of year 4. I'm not going to lie, I was aimlessly scrolling through Twitter as I do the entire time the season sims, and my dumbass forgot to check the record. So I have no idea what our record was. I'm assuming it was pretty good. Darius Garland MVP. VJ Miller's your rookie of the year. We traded him. Sucks to see. Isaiah Collier, 6th man of the year. Victor Wembanyama, Depoy. Taylor Hendricks, most improved. We went 70-12. Okay, that is a very, very solid 4th season, and I fucking love it, dude, to be quite honest with you. We far and away best record in the league. Hopefully well on our way to a 2nd championship, man. So here's a look at the numbers. Feel free to pause. I don't really have any interest in pausing because I think everybody on this team is absolutely unbelievable. Who the fuck let Nikola Jokic and Jason Tatum play on the same team? And first, how are you a playing team? Oh my God. You could put me out there with Jokic and Tatum. They're not a playing team. Holy shit, dude. I don't know how we swept them. The corpse of Dylan Brooks still going strong. Bronny James is here and Victor Wembanyama. Triple J here as well. Wow, what a job by the Spurs. I just think we're too good, but man, oh man, good job. And here's a look at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Good, solid. Oh, wow, that went to 7 games. Holy shit. We're going to be taking on the Indiana Pacers here in the finals. Interesting team. Miles Turner still here. Wow. Stuck through it thick and thin and going to get rewarded with a finals loss. Alperen's, holy what in the name of Nikola Jokic is this man doing in the finals? Wow, that's insane. Also, is he a free agent this offseason? I think he is, technically. That's something I have to worry about. But it is the final offseason, man. We are, oh my God, do we have lottery picks? Holy shit. Oh my God, we're projected number 7, number 9. Holy shit. Oh. It went, oh no, man, come on. Don't do this to me. I don't need the 1st overall pick. I do not need it whatsoever. Come on, bro. What am I supposed to do with the number 1 overall pick right now? I don't even know. We also have 9, 18. Oh my God. When I tell you I genuinely have absolutely no idea what to do with this draft pick, I have absolutely no idea. I mean, just out of curiosity, like anything? Are there any? No, nothing. I was just curious. How about Jalen Green? I'm literally just wanted to see. No, nothing. Okay. How about Jabari Smith Jr.? No. Not doing that. All right, so, I mean, maybe I'll draft somebody. I can draft a replacement for DeAnthony Melton or, yeah, that would really be it, honestly. But I don't even need this draft pick. I really don't. I sure as shit don't need these other ones, so I'll just take some future draft picks here. I mean, again, if this was like year 2, obviously this would be a much different story for what I'm doing with these picks, but we just almost have too many players at this point. I don't even know who the best prospect in this class is. Jamal McKnight Jr., 6'3". Sure. Why not? Welcome to the team. I mean, who the hell knows the 2027 draft at this point? 79 overall. AJ here's an 80. It doesn't matter. Welcome to the team. All right, so Matas Buzelis coming back. He's up to an 88 overall. Chris Murray and Amen Thompson obviously getting qualified, and I believe Şengün's a free agent as well. He is. So that is something we're definitely going to have to worry about. Hopefully we have enough money. I'm going to qualify Amen Thompson. I don't know who the hell that is in that picture. And Chris Murray, I'll honestly qualify as well. That's Keegan Murray. All right, hopefully this works out. Adam Flagger, we're good there. Hopefully this works. Please tell me I'm not like $85 million into the hard cap, and okay, we're good. Wow. All right, so, I mean, can either of these guys play? Yeah, they both have really good three-point shots, so, I mean, that's a DeAnthony Melton replacement. 6'2" versus 6'3", A versus A+ three-point shot. I'll just move Jamal McKnight Jr. I'll check the overalls. I mean, what happens? Goes actually down 1. Johnson goes down 2. Wow. Okay, maybe that wasn't the right draft pick then. I mean, what happens if I trade him with the Anthony Melton? You know, how much money are they making? Let me check that. Is that kind of, it's a final year. Let's get a little crazy. All right, Jamal McKnight Jr. is making 11. He's making 9, so that's like 21 million bucks. And yeah, let's just look at shooting guards that are making $21 million or less. As crazy as it is, the options probably aren't that great because we're so far down the line that I doubt there's a lot of great options here. Like DJ Wagner is here. Yeah, I mean, Trenton Flowers, but again, I think these guys are almost making too much money. Would I like to bring in Emmanuel quickly? Not for that offer, though. Bring KPJ back. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to figure this out at the start of next year because a lot more of these guys will be under contract, and we'll go from there. In terms of value, I honestly don't even really care if it's an overpay. OG Anunoby would be a very welcomed addition to this team for our final season, and yeah, they agree to it. I'm not really surprised they did, but yeah, man, this team is fucking insane. Let's set this rotation. I'm actually mind blown of how good this team is, man. This is probably without a doubt one of the deeper teams I've had so far in terms of like a normal rebuild in 2K23. I mean, it is, our 6-man is basically a 90 overall. I mean, what the fuck? It's going to be Amen Thompson, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Sengun, benching at Matas Buzelis, Chris Murray, OG Anunoby, Cameron Boozer, and Marcus Johnson. I mean, crazy, crazy, crazy depth. I was a little bit disappointed when we went ahead and basically traded away all our young, promising players in order to get Donovan Mitchell. I mean, I wasn't disappointed because we got a championship, but like, it sucked to see because we had such great young depth, and we have done just a fantastic job of replacing that depth. But I'm going to stop spewing about this team because I know this video's already been long as fuck. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 5. Our final season ends with a record of 69-13. Nice. Honestly, I was surprised this team didn't break the all-time win record at 73. I thought we had the talent to do so. 2K disagreed, but a 69-win season, never something I'm going to complain about. Victor Wembanyama is your MVP. Mac Mbakwe is your Rookie of the Year. Look, what the fuck happened to this? What? Huh? Please tell me they're like, give me an argument. I would play Luka at the center position before I put this man on my bench. You are out of your fucking mind. This might be the first time in human history that I have ever seen anything like this. Victor Wembanyama is your DPOY, Isaiah Evans MVP, and MIP, and Jacob Underwood Coach of the Year. First and foremost, before we get into it, who in the hell is the starting point guard in Miami? Oh my God. Sorry. I know that was loud. You are telling me that those geniuses down there can't figure out a way to start these two together? Oh man, what is going on? I mean, good God, 2K. God bless you. All right, here is a, and God bless me, actually, matter of fact, I sneezed. All right, here is a look at the numbers on the year. It doesn't matter. Who are we going to, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. We have Portland here. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'd pretty much bet my life savings that we're going to go ahead and win a championship. Bam Adebayo I see there in Memphis. In Oklahoma City, I think it's like the 3rd straight year we've faced Oklahoma City in the Western Finals. And holy shit, Trenton Flowers, this dude seems to be pretty good. We're going to be matching up with him here and the rest of the Indiana Pacers here in the NBA Finals. Thanks for coming. Amen Thompson, Finals MVP. That's, I believe, our 3rd straight championship, I think. I don't really know. What a team, man. What a team. What a run. I had a ton of fun with this one. Man, oh man, what a rebuild. So, yeah, I know this will not be a long outro. I know this video's already been decades long, and if you sat through this entire thing, you're the real MVP. All right, man. As always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. I'll do 5-year rebuilds with a bunch of these young teams if you really want me to. Just let me know which ones down below. I just did one with the Pistons not too long ago, and I think there's a few others. Like, I want to do like a Magic one. There's a bunch. Let me know down below. But other than that, man, I had fun. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I definitely know I did. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.